Thank God it's Friday stream. International Master Will Paschall, we're taking fast blitz challenges. Fast, in my world, means 5 plus 3. Acerbate just crossed the orange barrier with the 50,000K badge. That's great, man. So, wow, huge donation, champion. Acerbate 75 donation to cross the barrier, because you had it and you didn't have it and you had it when you donated 75. So process of elimination, you just got your orange badge. Congratulations, Acerbate is an orange belt now. All right, guys, we're gonna be warming up here. Bob, you've got the gift lead. Chessy by 2. What is that? What is Chessy by? I'm a little out of it. All right, let's find some victims. That's what we're here for. We're here for victims. All right, warm up. The lobby. Favorite place to hang out? Unicorn 99. I wasn't going to play him anymore. I think we established that. After last time. Alright, 3 plus 2. Little warm-up game. I should do a 5 plus 3. Chess Bunny. Yobias, 3 plus 2. I normally take 5 plus 3 challenges. But to 1600 should be a fairly straightforward beatdown. 3 plus 2. The Grand Prix attack with Bishop B5. Bishop e5 is far superior to Bishop c4. Bob, that's so derogatory. Calling people clowns. We're above that here. Knight takes b5 check. I can win a pawn, but my dark squares would be really, really weak after that. This is so dubious. We really shouldn't do it. But just for fun. No, it's in depth. I'm very careful about the wording of that, Sakamano. Don't trivialize my careful wordings of things. I wouldn't give you that opportunity, you know. Please don't even think about it. By the way, Yobias, playing this perfectly. Okay, it was a dangerous process to begin this pawn grab with fianchetto at queen. Exceedingly dangerous, precarious thing to do by me. We can get to my favorite type of endgame. The classic knight f7, knight d8, knight c6 maneuver to control the center. Oh, Bob, I couldn't remember that. Maybe when we went over the game, I didn't remember that supernova was skewerly. So I didn't mention that. This guy is awful good for 1640. Highly dubious. Whenever I get people in the... When you get people in the lobby, man, some of them are frightening. Another distinct impression of a player who could be 2,000 easily. Got a good feel for dynamism here. He's like way, way better than his rating. Alright, I guess we don't put our bishop on f5 and give him g4 with tempo at some later date. This guy is tremendously strong for his rating. I know that's a joke that I say that all the time, but I'm serious, man. 1640. He's almost 1,000 points lower rated than me and just keeps firing good moves like nonstop, dude. Totally pressuring me. Fearless. Attacking. I still have yesterday's title. Okay, I'll fix that. Thank you for reminding me. I mean, King F2? Really? Is this a good move to take this? Probably. I guess my opponent's weakness is that he's like overly aggressive. I'm getting kind of scared now. No way. Take that. 1600. That's right. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. 1600, this guy. What? He's 1600, man. Are you serious? It took that insane combination to take him down, which I'm not even sure it actually works. What? This doesn't even work. Oh no. Because he has King E3. What? Oh my god. Dude, I don't believe this. He can actually... He can win with bishop e5. I have to admit I missed this. Bested. Bob, you have to lose the game to be bested, not win the game. Are you not familiar with the rules of chess? I know you would love that, but you can't celebrate when I didn't lose. You know, I'm sorry. We're going to have to negate that. Can you please delete that comment from the archives? Where's Mr. Coffee? Of course it's a win. Wow. Of course it's a win. Even a master probably might miss this in blitz, like bishop e5, and be afraid to play king f4. Dude, how does this work? How does this work? What? He can play king g4 and win. Well, at least we know he wasn't a computer. Because he definitely would have played that. Jeez, dude. I knew what I was getting into when I did this. This is so sick, dude. I should have played bishop f5. I debated about it, but I was afraid of queen h4 and g4. And he just immediately hit me with the f5. And now h4. I don't know, man. King f2. Winning position. This is just hanging here also. He's not a computer, but he's exceedingly good for his rating. That's kind of crazy. Very, very, very strongly played. What? What is that person talking about? Can we use Google Translate? I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. To ignore it, time him out, ban him, or do nothing. I don't know what to do. He's gonna accidentally stir up trouble. Yeah, very, very unusual. Modo. He's just bad with the autocomplete. Alright. Who all here are subscribers? I don't know what Takeback is doing. I really don't know. 3+1. That's an interesting type control. Stefanos Kappa. Okay, we've got Asmir. Stefanos. Asmir. Learning Chess, did you become a subscriber? Or no? He did. Alright. You can always try there, Takeback. 3+1. Oh yeah, it's a non-sub day. Thanks, Bob. I'm a little slow. I often need to be reminded my own name, serial number, fast challenge. I've only been doing this for like 3 years now. It's not like it changes every week or something. You think after 3 years we could remember like what the process is. I don't remember my own name and I'm criticizing him for not remembering. It's not very fair. Alright. So Catalan, I've got to start playing the Catalan because the Reti sucks. Really bad. The Reti is like hopeless. You don't have any space. There's no advantage at all. I mean, truthfully, like, all openings are no advantage for white. Yeah, Yobius, you played, like, really well for 1600. I mean, I was impressed. I wouldn't have done such a thing with, like, queen a5 check, queen takes c3, queen g7 if I thought you were a better player. It's an extremely risky plan, but thought, okay, it's a 1640, I can get away with it. We'll have some fun here. You know, I mean, this is an exceedingly... Also, I noted that that I really didn't see you had winning moves. I thought I was at least drawing with rook e2 check. And you have obviously bishop e5, but I couldn't believe that you can play king g4 in the final position instead of taking the rook. Walk your king up and win. But I think even like masters would have been reluctant to do that. It was an interesting game. It was funny. Yeah, no, I mean, you're good for 1600. That was a well-played game. I mean, So a4. No, no, no. I mean, I didn't get the impression you're cheating, but that you're just stronger than 1600. A lot of inaccuracies from both of us. Nobody was making like perfect moves, but the way you played with the initiative was far beyond most people of your rating. Um, as I said, I would never play that way though. Like against anybody who was 1900 or higher. I don't normally do something like queen a5 check, bishop takes c3. I even said it. I won't give up my dark square bishop. Um, it was my first game, and I just kind of wanted to mess around. So, welcome. Yeah, interesting game. So I've got challenges from Learning Chess, 10-year-old Asmir Takeback. And I do welcome challenges from non-subscribers on Fridays. Thanks for reminding me, Bob. Bob, the computer in analysis mode won. Not my opponent. We're not perfect. Knight bd7, I don't know. One thing you have to be a little careful with is sometimes when you take on c4, black can play b5. The idea being like AB, AB, and my rook's hanging on a1. So I guess the question that comes to mind is, though, what is black threatening? Maybe we'll just play like rook d1. He can't really protect his pawn on c4. I was talking about this with someone recently, and Tony, I think, at the Catalan. Bob, have you beaten me before? You've beaten me for sure, right? No. Bob's one of the few. You did beat me? Are you sure? You know what, Bob, though? I appreciate that you've never cheated with an engine. You know, I mean, given Bob's limited resources, we would basically expect him to maybe get desperate and try to cheat or something. And I was really thinking the other day that I appreciate that you're a conscientious person, Bob. I really do, you know. Well, I mean, because of the ADD, you know what I mean? It's hard for you to concentrate for long periods of time. That's what I meant by limited resources. Rook b8 looks like a good move. Energies devoted to trolling, primarily. Chess is just an afterthought. So anyway, he gets his bishop to the long diagonal. The long diagonal of equalization. That's the key for that piece, man. Nicely played by Stefanos. I've never seen anything like this before, and I never want to see it again. This is so superficial. Now what do we do on 95? Don't mind giving that bishop up in the Catalan for a knight. The question, I guess, is where does the knight go? Knight c3. Knight f4 is not a problem, but I'm not threatening anything. Knight e2 is more passive. We could possibly head for b3. Looks like if Black could also consider here c5 in some positions, especially if knight d2. Tough call. Can I rewatch the stream? Rewatch. We definitely, the stream is recorded. The streams stay on Twitch for a few days, maybe up to a week. And then ask her to forgive my rude guests here. So it's also on YouTube. I do upload all the reruns. Forgive my rude guests for your the atmosphere here is like the corner store in a hillbilly village. C5, you can do that anyway. Wow. So we have a very important question. D5. Asmir. That's funny, man. Good one. I like it. So I could play d5 and give him that queenside majority from hell. Or we're close to something here. Man, that's probably not a major issue. D5 deserves serious consideration, but at least his pawn's exceedingly dangerous. I mean, I figured pawn takes, knight d5, and I'm not clearly threatening anything. The knight g5 is just lurking, but this is a very surprising move. Just the total miscalculation. He forgot that his knight is tying him down to d7, so he can't be taking any pawns with queen c7. He just blundered. Bob, you're not a subscriber anymore. What happened? You're too positive about the stream today. It's like that famous saying, like, with friends like that, who needs enemies? All right. Well, 95 is solid. Maybe it's more solid just not to let him trade off my bishop on g2. No way I'm getting mated with the bishop on g2. Meantime, this pawn just wins. But it was a really unfortunate sort of miscalculation by black. Closer to a winning endgame. Nice. Nice little trick. Okay. Anyway, can't save that. Learning chess, 10-year-old Asmir and take back. You should be subbed with Prime. I'll check when I get back. Bob, you're a gift sub leader. No, you're second. I'm sorry, that's why you're silver. Alright, learning chess and Sparkle Horse. Doing battle here. Learning chess always plays interesting openings. All the greatest hits. Bob's greatest trolling hits. No more jokes about people being dead now. That's the only thing we're gonna draw a line in the sand there. During the coronavirus, we're not gonna joke about it. It's no longer, it was always marginal, but no longer appropriate. Anything else is fair game, but keep the corona jokes very light. Bishop b4, bishop g5. Did you play this against me the other day? You did. What happens if I do b6 against the Leningrad? I'm just wondering. How bad is it? Queen c2 transposes to a line I've been playing. And Tony variation. Oh, you followed my advice. I could just like tell you what to do. Okay. For your next move, you want to play h4. One of our favorite ideas here. h4 is very critical. I've got this like allergic seasonal allergy condition, and I'm starting to get paranoid. I have like a scratchy throat from allergies. It's making everybody crazy. e3, but no matter what you do, don't tell Bob your fears. e3. Okay, so now it's just like a kind of positional line. I should play for g5. There was actually an interesting game I saw where black played h6 and g5 before white played e3. Somehow it's better for black to wait for e3 to do this. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe we could transpose to the game in question. Maybe I'm supposed to do it first. Now you have 92. That's the position that I was afraid of. Now I'm almost playing into it. No, there was a really strong game for white I saw. Like h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, 94, 92. The last time I was looking at this. Maybe I made a mistake. I wonder, I mean, can I play h6 right away? That doesn't seem right. I'm not sure I should do g5 because I saw g5, bishop g3, 94. There's a game, William Michael Brown versus Nesterovich. And Nesterovich lost with black. The guy plays like g5, bishop g3, 94, knight e2, avoiding having double pawns on c3, and he can still play f3. But Nestorovich's position wasn't that bad, actually. But, I don't know. Why am I repeating it when I said it wasn't good? It's not that bad. It's still not that bad. I don't have a better idea. You're one trick pony. One trick brony. The bronies. Bob loves my brony. My little brony. Alright, so 94 is mandatory. Now he knows what he's supposed to play. William Michael Brown. Whoever that is. I've been away from the United States for a long time. There's a whole crew of kids that are strong that I never heard of. Wow. Okay, so you just did your own thing. Most of the time, people don't go that direction, letting their pawn structure get messed up around the king there. While there's no direct way to like kill white for that, I mean, in the long run, this slight weakening in his structure could be detrimental. Can be detrimental to your health. We must develop the pieces. There really are not that many options here. I know nothing. Nothing. Well, we must consider f5, I guess. Oh no, not that pawn again. Everybody blunders that pawn. But if I take on g3 here, he'll take with the f pawn and then have some sort of pressure down the f line. $1,300. Right. I guess we'll have to play it this way. f5 looks a little sketchy. Sure, I trust this. Knight g3, f g3. That's original. I guess we'll have to do it. I don't think the f7 pawn is that big a deal. Not that big of a deal. H takes. Back to traditional structures. Okay. I guess I should take on g2. Everyone drops that pawn. Like, okay. And I knew about it, but I was so happy he didn't play f takes that I didn't take. Now f4 is an excellent move. So yet another player who suspiciously plays 1,000 points higher than his strength. I guess I'm really like a 1,700. I'm just overrated. It's not that you guys are underrated. I'm 1,000 points overrated. Huge mistake not grabbing the pawn. I could use that pawn. I am a little underdeveloped though. f4 is an extremely strong move. Not only defending his pawn, but putting pressure on my position. I am overrated for sure. Actually, I don't care. I used to be very competitive about my online chess ratings like 20 years ago. But at some point you realize there are more important things in life than online chess rating. Alright. Rook e1, castles queenside. 111, the bot made me to donate via PayPal again. Keep on the safe. Wait, what? The bot? Did we get a donation? I want to meet this bot. Where is this supposed bot? Which bot? And g5, e5 is interesting. The Moobot made him donate via PayPal? What? God, this looks like a... What do I want to call it? The Trompowski line or something. White's space advantage is pretty serious. Like, nice pawn structure there. 1,300. The Moobot. How did he make you donate? Via PayPal? Good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Moobot. The Expanse. It's like that sci-fi show. This is The Expanse. It's a lot of pawnage. It's a rock. I did not play this really optimally. King b8 is overly cautious. I should probably play something more constructive like queen f6. He actually like preordained queen f6. Preordained defense of queen f6? Seriously? You're 1300. What is going on around here? What about f5? Not a good move. Kind of interesting in a crazy sort of way. Learning Chess just got said he's talking while he's playing too, despite being 1,000 points lower rated. And busting me. He said I gotta break the pawns down. I tried, but I don't think f5 is correct. Just a simple tactical oversight. He will win a piece back, but he's going to be down a piece anyway. Down a rook. It was a simple cheapo, which I promote heavily here on my stream. I don't know. I think I'm like clearly worse after rook h4. But I'm probably being overly pessimistic. The only move. Could have taken my knight, but I planned it that way. We suspect he's not really 1300. So obviously I should take the pawn. You should have played f takes g. But I think you should have seriously played. I told you guys the game was right here. William Michael Brown against Nesterovich, 92. This exact position. It's not that bad for black. Anyway. But anyways, after rook h4, I want to see what the evaluation is. Yeah, it's like, again, this is a deceptive position. It looks really good for white, but that computer thinks that I'm better. Subtle. White has some weaknesses, you know, the pawns over here, like I said. Space comes with a lot of responsibility. Not necessarily. It was he's an awful 1300. I'd like to see a match with you, Bob. Learning Chess versus Bob. I think it might be close. Bob, I liked your positional game the other day, though. No, wait. That was skewerly, right? You were saying. Very sophisticated strategic ideas for you. I'm trying to teach Asterbate to play bishop c8 for years now in such positions. You recognize a lot of concepts, deeper concepts. Calculation, not so much. To the point where, like I said in the video, I don't know if you watched, but despite, like, you know, blundering a pawn, you were still fine. Your position was so good strategically. By that point, you could afford to, like, lose a pawn with a stupid. blunder. I mean, again, I can't play the freaking ready anymore. Réti Ricard was from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, what is known today as Czechia, I guess. I don't think he would be Slovakian. Okay, d5. The name is Hungarian. So d4, d5. What are we going to do? This stupid Slav. Bowling alley. You sacked a pawn. Oh no. You're not even going to claim that. I didn't really think, I thought of it as blundering a pawn, but luckily having enough compensation. It's all in the perception. Wow, so you did it on purpose. I mean, I believe you. You know, you could be telling the truth. You've been known to tell the truth before. What is this move? Seriously. I actually am threatening knight b5. No. Because of queen a5 check. But if knight b6, I guess I am threatening knight b5. Which is interesting. You could say it's a good Slav exchange for white. Can he play knight h5 here? Possibly. It's a lot of time to waste, isn't it? Put the knight on the side of the board. I don't know what the deal is with this move. I've occasionally run into this very unusual move. Black really has a lot of good lines in the Slav. No need to resort to second tier stuff. Is knight h5 a problem? Maybe. I don't play the Slav exchange unless there's a special reason, like black plays g6 or some other kind of second rate, as I said, setup. With the Slav, the Schlechter Slav with g6, the bishop is really dead against d4. So I find that's one situation where the exchange variation is okay. Why? Oh, by the way, I don't really like Facebook that much, but I do use it. And especially now in lockdown boredom time. But I noticed like my Facebook ads were like way up as of yesterday. There's a Facebook ad every 5 like Facebook posts. I'm not going to use the app anymore. I mean, if it's going to be like an ad every 5 Facebook posts, I will quit Facebook. Just to let you know, because I know you're listening out there. They increased the commercials on my phone like double or more in one day. Does anyone else have the same experience? Or is this something that I did? Yeah, that'll just be right up the conspiracy alley. Silicon Valley created the virus to increase business. Of course, Bob. Realistic. It was released from a lab in Silicon Valley. That's probably an article like trending on The Onion right now. I didn't say you said they created it, but I'm saying it would be the perfect like fake news story. especially for like Bernie Sanders supporters. Jim, thank you. 100 bits. I had to do this. I'm not going to let this boredom and symmetrical position just keep me from doing something positive. My game here. Alright, I'm not going to be castling anywhere but castling kingside. You've hoarded corn cobs? That might be a bad idea to talk about that. I better call in Mr. Coffee. Yeah, I saw that, but yeah, it's insane. Abject pawn. The guy missed. The only problem is he missed the boat. Oh, this is ridiculous, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, where do they get these train conductors? There must be a train conductor shortage. Seriously. This is such a bad joke. He missed the boat. He didn't even come close. He missed by like 300 feet. He's going to go to jail for the rest of his life for trying to like terrorize a boat that he missed by like 300 feet. Was the guy on drugs? I mean, what could it be? This is not a rational mind. But I was saying to Bob last week, you know, the lady who went in the supermarket and like coughed on everything and now she's like facing terrorist charges. I mean, you know, this is obviously a question of mental illness. I'm not sure we should like be putting people in jail for 50 years for coughing on vegetables because they're mentally ill, you know. Clearly the guy who crashed the train like wasn't playing with a full deck. They might have a legitimate case that the virus made them crack up or something. Now, Bob, if only that were true. You realize how absurd what you're suggesting is. There are plenty of perfectly sane criminals in jail. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Bob. What are you talking about? To say like there's a lot of criminals who are mentally ill is a perfectly fair statement, but to claim that all people in jail are mentally ill is absurd. Dude, you take a calculated risk. You sell drugs. To try to make a living, and then you know, you get caught. You didn't think you would. I mean, you didn't think you're really hurting anybody. I don't think that makes you mentally ill. But the amount of mentally ill people in jail is probably a serious problem. Anyway, 10-year-old getting the benefit of the distractionary tactics here. Attention whores. Interesting term to bring up on our stream. All right. I used to just call them tension whores. Of course, we use this terminology all the time in chess. Tension. Sweep, neat, clean, win the exchange here because of king g7. None of the people that I know that ever sold drugs were mentally ill. You're only mentally ill if you get caught, Bob. Like, I guess that's the way it works. According to Bernie Sanders. All right. We've got Asmir, Take Back, Alms, DK Guy, Bone Atrophy, and Abject Pawn. You don't have to take me too seriously. I'm just having fun. Let's focus on chess, Bob. Don't be attention whore. How are we doing with the light today? Looks like the sun is on the way. We had a full moon or something close to it last night. It was hard to sleep. Is there any scientific evidence that full moons make it more difficult to sleep? I just couldn't sleep last night. Out of the blue. Asmir. Pierce Ufimsev. No, I mean, I had my blind closed, but there's this like crack on the edge of it. And just that one little crack. The side of the blinds is enough for like this like sun or moonlight to pour in. You can see. So I don't sleep with open blinds, but I could see there was a moon quite strongly. One interesting article that I saw today said the seismological like shaking in the earth since coronavirus has decreased. People are moving less in factories, and there's actually a detectable decrease in shaking on the planet's surface since coronavirus started. Sort of amazing. Knight BD7. The good old Pierce. I feel like this move is wrong. But I am going to have to protect my e4 pawn. There's not a lot of ways to do it. I played the Fianchetto King's Indian a lot. I mean, the position is slightly different with that pawn not being on c4. I always thought of the Fianchetto Pierce as being better than the Fianchetto King's Indian. For white, that is. What do we do? '96, '92. You could force a repetition that way. This b3 is a bit of an odd move, I admit. But it's not unusual. Completely. Astrobate, snap out of it. Focus on the game. Ambulance. We're not allowed to talk about. We're not allowed to talk about things that might panic the public here due to decree from government. But I noticed this Facebook post yesterday by a kind of right-winger. Hungary was in the list, this like totally arbitrary list of the top 10 safest countries against coronavirus. I was just like, this is interesting. If you walk out on the street, like, everybody acts like there's nothing going on. The people are in complete denial. I mean, Hungary's basically not doing anything against coronavirus except closing its borders like every other country. There's, I mean, we close the schools and the borders, but I mean, there's no reason for Hungary to be safer. If it is, it's just by chance. I feel like people are taking it less seriously here than a lot of countries. So now we have e5. D takes e5, bishop takes a8, pawn takes d4. Possibly a good exchange sacrifice. I mean, that's an insane move to play. Insane in the membrane. The interesting option to play knight c6. Would anyone have thought of that? Knight c6, queen c6, e5. Karpov, maybe. Karpov, baby. Knight c6. And then b4. And then knight d5. And then knight d5. Bishop takes g7, king takes g7. Does this work? This doesn't work. The answer is it's complicated. Maybe it does work. That's an insane idea. It doesn't threaten much. This is just a stupid move. I can't believe this works for me. It has to fail. This is just fancy. Too fancy. Not threatening anything. I think it's a reasonable conspiracy theory that the US is allowing COVID to do a lot of damage. That's pretty close to 9/11, man. Probably worse. I'm sure you'll find some followers. I'm not saying you believe it, but I'm sure that would find some followers. Couldn't he have played knight takes e4 here? Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4, bishop e4. Something like that. There's no way this works for me. Now he played it. Frankly, I have no idea what I'm doing here. What looks bad? Train Man was a follower, definitely. We're really getting closer and closer to the Bernie Sanders land. Far left conspiracy theorists. Just accept that Bernie is done, but his movement can live on. Keep that in your heart. No, Bob, he's not a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of his followers are. Maybe not a lot, but a subset are really extreme. It has nothing to do with him himself, but it breeds these extremist people. I don't see any of the ones like that, Bob. The only people I see are the ones that are like militantly crazy. You know, in my everyday. F6. So sorry about Bernie Sanders. Just no hope. Sorry, Bernie. You're gonna play this out seriously? Bob, you like exactly like these other people that I see on Facebook. There's like this fantasy, man. Of course Biden will win. I wouldn't worry about it. But admitting that would ruin your Bernie Sanders fantasy. Trump is the most unpopular president in history. And now the economy can't save him anymore. And comparing Bernie Sanders to Hillary Clinton is idiotic. They always refrain to that when I try to have this debate with people. All right, too political. We're going to cut it off now. Knight takes c3. We're going to play this. What's up with Takeback playing the Smith Mora, my favorite. You really play the Smith Mora? We haven't seen the bishop e3 variation. What's that? Usually they would castle first and then play bishop e3. I've played a few people who have used this move order, probably with white. Doesn't seem... Well, I guess the question would become, what does it do? What difference does it make if you play bishop e3 without castling first? We haven't seen take back in a very long time. He's kind of an enigma. But I can see how bishop e3 would be more useful than castles in a position like this. It's more relevant. But then again, there could be some downside of it as well. What the heck is that? Tempted to sack an exchange there. He was threatening rook takes d8 check. This seems almost like pre-rehearsed. Very surprised he would give up his knight on e5 for that bishop. I was getting paranoid that this was some sort of pre-prepared position, but after knight d7, I'm beginning to have my doubts. Pre-rehearsed means that you played it before. It's a conspiracy theory I take back. Getting a lot of those today. As in a position you've played before, the same exact position against someone else. Like we're still in your home prep, in other words. But I suspect knight takes d7 is a mistake. The knight is just too strong. He could wait until I go to c6 and then take it. I mean, maybe damage my pawn structure. I don't know. I thought, I don't know what I thought. Actually, I thought he should play knight a4 right away. And if b5, knight b6, then rook b8 and move his bishop. Maybe that's better. He had a pretty strong sequence there, objectively. The knight on c5, kind of annoying. Knight c6, bishop g7, rook g8, bishop somewhere like h6, I take on g2. I don't know. Seems risky to give up the g7 pawn. LVN, no need to be sorry about suggesting our game at all. It was actually kind of interesting. I thought Bishop G5 was an interesting move in the opening that I wasn't really familiar with. So I'm kind of glad about that, actually. We're doing, as always, 5+3 challenges here. We've got still over an hour left in the stream. Yeah, Asterbait got the 50K badge. Give me pawn, or give me death. That's what Alexander Hamilton said. Was it Alexander Hamilton? Now I'm not sure. Whoa, no. This is not happening. The G file is not happening. Give me liberty. But the question is it the right person I'm attributing that quote to? American history is kind of far in the past. I'm not well informed. It's someone else. I thought so. I was afraid of that. Confusing my American history quotes. But it sounds good anyway. Now, this is going to be an issue, but we can always play f5. That's not a problem. f5. This is bothering me. Right, my rook is ridiculous. Why can't I do anything here? Patrick Henry. Not a household name anymore. Got to be a student of the American Revolution or whatever to remember that name. He's not really famous for anything else. But the alternatives to accepting the Moro Gambit Blubbix are actually worse than accepting it. That's the problem. You like playing the black side of the c3 Sicilian? Because I don't. I'd rather be up a pawn and suffer than be up nothing and just have a normal position. We differ there philosophically. 2 e5. You mentioned this earlier. Feels like e5 should be completely wrong. I'll have to look at it more closely. I think Blubbix just doesn't like endgames. Any endgame is suffering. If you're not up a piece or something. Tony, welcome to the stream. I hate the Alpen Sicilian, but I respect it, you know, to some degree. I admit, I respect it. Everything must go. inaccurate move. Much more accurate than let's see. Oh, you won a knight endgame. Just a draw now. Incredible bullet play from lost position. All right. Disgraceful technique by me. You're very fast. So DK guy, also very tough player. Oh, it's my son. My son, oh my god. There's no hope for this. There. This is ridiculous. Sorry about the angle here, but I've got temporary sunlight problem. That was a typical Mora gambit. Talk about suffering. Who's suffering? White was begging for a draw the whole game. That's what happens in the Mora. The best you can do is to draw with white. I mean, doesn't seem like it's worth playing above the 1800 level. That sounds disgusting. I'd rather see like tennis, mud wrestling, biathlon. Chess between them is not interesting. King Crusher gets a huge lead in the mud wrestling part of the contest. But I also wanted to see Feingold do mud wrestling. Feingold versus Simon Williams. All right. 92. I'm trying to remember if maybe I've even played this position before. I guess I should take. I've probably played this before. But I mean, I think that's a normal result at the end. That's kind of a normal result when you're pairing like a 2450 FIDE player against someone who's like 2100. You know, actually, statistically, I think that's probably close to the normal result. It should be very, very, very high favoritism to the player who's 350 points higher. But 2-0 is practically blitz. I mean, it's close. He's just a light year stronger. I mean, I don't like him, but he's legitimately a 2450 IM, you know? I mean, I don't take that away from the guy. King Crusher is a 2100. There's a huge difference in their strengths. It's not really a fair match. I mean, they should get like time odds, 2-1 time odds. That would be probably fair. What am I doing? Bishop e6. I can't play with the computer at this angle. I'm actually staring at the board from the side. Innocent person. Jesus, dude. I think we need to come up with a new definition of innocent. What, can we get the Webster's Dictionary out? I know, I thought of Garfield too when I first heard this. Acerbate. Jim Davis. That's Jim Davis. I had my same first thought of the other guy. What if I take on d5? What's going on here? What's the problem? I love exchanges, DK guy. How much I love exchanges. Queen c6 is tempting, but it might be a mistake. Paralyzing myself. We need to unpin. What's wrong with me? Why don't I just play knight d7? I just realized I can play knight d7 just now. Hey, the rooks protect each other. Is that how this works? Ironically, it'll probably turn out that knight c6 is a better move. I'm a little bit of groveling because, like, we have to make a living. I don't want to do that, though. For a long time, you know, honestly. But, I don't love money. I don't worship money, and I just want to live. I mean, I don't like do this solely for money. I really love chess. Um, so I'm a socialist, Bob. Socialist chess streamer. The definition of innocent. Thank you, Abject Pawn. We needed that. A little more of that. Bob does not fit the definition. But he wasn't talking. There was a miscommunication. He wasn't talking about himself, apparently. I gotta straighten my computer out. I mean, this is really starting to affect me. Now the sun has moved. Yeah, I mean, as I said before, I love banning the gift subs, Bob. There's nothing that makes me happier. Rook c5 is kind of a peculiar move. The longer I think, the more arbitrary the move I play is. Going back to Acerbate and Jakob Attila's long think, wrong think. The definition of innocent. I don't know Eric Rosen, so I'm not going to make any commentary about him. Not enough information. Nasty. Look at this guy go. Unbelievable. The ultra scary DK guy. That's how I lost to the lowest rated player I ever lost to, DK guy, in a blitz tournament. I allowed knight h6 mate. Once against the 1600 in OTV blitz. This player who had never ever gotten a draw against me in like 20 games. I just went to sleep and let him mate me with knight h6. Yeah. That's not happening. Yeah, but he plays the London. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't like him just because of that. His philosophy of chess, I don't like. I don't like him as a chess teacher. He might be a good guy. Wow, b4. Timely move for white. Must play good move now. The diagonal. The diagonal. Now I'm lost? Well, we're getting close. DK guy is ridiculously strong for his rating. I know that's something I say all the time about everyone. But it's true. I don't understand why you're just 2208, DK guy. Seriously. You should be way higher. It's like you don't try to go above 2200 or something. Or you just stop when you get to 2200. You're like, alright, that's good enough for me. Look at all of his ratings. He's like 22, 22, 22. That must be it, that he just like, okay, he contents himself with 22. And he doesn't care if it gets higher than that. Because you could easily be like 2400. Easily. Not even a question. With the speed and strength that he has, he makes me look stupid. No, he's extremely strong. And fast. Usually it's like one or the other. When someone is around DK guy's rating, they're either really fast or they're just strong but kind of slow. But he's strong and fast, which is like, I'm like way behind him on the clock. You got to be at least 2,300. I think he just stops at 22. You should drive yourself to get a little bit higher. You're making my ratings go down. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, I'm lucky to even get a draw. Like, literally lucky to even get a draw. Look at this game. I might even be winning there, but I've been so pummeled the whole game that I just am, like, tired out. I might even be winning. But I was so thinking that I was lost. I don't think I can run my king out, though. I mean, I was even thinking about playing for a win, but it's crazy. I mean, can I really run my king out? I'll lose a rook to king e6, queen g8 check in one line. I mean, there's no way. It's heroic draw by me. And heroic draw, I think. With very little time left, I found a means to do this. Perpetual. Not an easy draw to find. For black, actually. Apparently he was winning, but blundered with a5. I had queen f3. I was afraid of queen e7 check, but oddly that's not anything. I mean, clearly it's requiring calculation that my king walks up all the way to g4 here. You have to calculate. I was a little bit short of time, so the game turns out to be fairly well played by both sides. But like, compared to the average 2200 on lichess, DK is like 200 points underrated. I mean, most of the time I only gain 4 rating points for beating a 2200, by the way. I get almost nothing. Yet DK guy he's underrated. You should try to get your rating up to like 2400. You could easily do it. Okay, bone atrophy. I mean, if you go to the hourly blitz tournament and play the average 2200 player, I'm winning like 9 out of 10 or something, like at least 8 out of 10 against those guys. 15 cent upon loss for both sides in a blitz game is extremely, extremely strong. A lot of like tournament games don't have cent upon loss that low for both sides, frankly. He said he doesn't like the fianchetto variation, but he plays it himself. This is a mistake for black. Now black can play it kind of Benoni, I think. I'm constantly preaching to acerbate not to allow d5 in the Owen defense when you've got a fianchetto type setup. But it doesn't lose by force here in this type of position. Maybe knight c3. I don't know if it matters. Queen's Indian. You know, there's sort of things that we don't... I don't like this move that much. While it may not be that bad, it may create difficulties for black to develop the queen side. One thing that's difficult to put your finger on is like why against certain players you have a really good score and against other certain players around the same level you don't. You know, I mean, there's stylistic considerations that go into that. You may have like a rival at the chess club or wherever you would typically play, someone who's beaten you like 4 times in a row, and maybe they're the same rating or not even that much higher rated than you. This definitely exists, you know, the concept that certain players don't match up well against each other. Jim, when you play against someone like Todorov, you should try to create as much chaos as you can. You know, I don't think that Todorov likes chaos. He's very, very, very into... Though it's hard to get him into chaos. You know, his whole repertoire is created that, you know... It's built around playing endgames and simple positions and stuff like that. I couldn't really get much going. I'd have to really put some effort into it. You want to create unclear against him, I would think, and get tactical chances, because he makes, you know, he's the kind of player who makes tactical mistakes. But if you play him in a simple tactical position, he's brutal. Wow, I like the way that Bone Atrophy played this. Queen d7, knight a6, he makes it work. I mean, maybe he's clearly worse anyway, but at least he found a nice path for the knight there. It's possible I played a4 too early. I really don't like the fianchetto Benoni at all for white. So knight f5. Guys, no stream tomorrow. It's my day off, so martini time. We will be back on Sunday. I wasn't expecting c4. I thought you would be content with your little cubby hole with a knight there. You've got that and knight c5 now. White's kingside looks pretty ominous. Omnivorous. All right, well, I don't know. Queen d4 loses. Knight b3, unfortunately. My e4 pawn is attacked again. Didn't really want to retreat my knight, but it might not be a bad idea. I mean, the thing's likely to get kicked out of there anyway. It's usually a bad square, but in this case, when I have all this freedom of space over there, it's not so bad. It's one of the better in knight g3. I could have played f3, but I don't know. It blocks my pieces to some degree, and I might want to play f4. So you can't play f3 and f4 at the same time. Plus, I'm threatening to win a piece now with g5, reinforcing e4. He should play... Well, he has to play some kind of pretty awkward move now. Maybe h6 is the simplest. I'm not sure if it's good. Thanks, Blobix. Hopefully you can come by for a simul on Sunday. Rook a3, a very useful move. Sometimes. Although this case, I do have a bunch of things on the third rank. No, he's coming back. He's coming back. Pawn avalanche. Bishop g5 just gives him a tempo. Should I play g5 anyway? Just go with the space? It's very weakening. And I don't have a clear attack. I'm not sure, guys. I don't want to overextend myself. He's got this tremendous outpost here. Very much disrupting my position. Alright, I mean, I guess we'll just try to hold it. Take away the e5 square. Play f4. Sound general alarm. We're going to be weakening our king side a bit with the big f4. I don't want his knight going there. Battle lines are drawn. Actually, he can play knight b3 and take my dark square bishop. Probably he should. If that's the case, then maybe I made a mistake. We still have a lot of space, but I don't like giving up my dark square bishop here, or any pieces really. He should definitely play that. I mean, even g6 isn't bad. Bishop d4. Knight takes e4, bishop e4, rook e4, rook e4, queen f5. I'm not sure. We can check it after the game. Sealer sweeper. Sealer sweeper extremely tempting here. It's probably not good enough. Posing some problems for him. Really need to keep the e4 square. My b2's hanging. Just sacrificed another pawn. Didn't want it. guess we just... If we take, bishop takes, bishop d4. We go for h4, h5. Quickly. Quickly now. Maybe he should have played h5 while he still had the chance. This is too slow. Maybe not. Maybe it's not too slow. How do we break through? We ought to have something. The king is in an unfortunate position here. Oh my God. Didn't see that. That's what I get for being fancy. Man, that was close. I did not see you could retreat back and defend. It's hilarious. Good thing I'm still winning. How much time? We have another half an hour left. King Chaser, missed mate. I know. Well, I don't know. I didn't know I missed mate. I just screwed it up. Queen F8 is actually... I didn't realize it was mate. Queen F8, King D7, Rook H7. You know, it's like mate in 3. There's no immediate mate. But I would have played Queen takes F8 and I saw it, but I thought this was forced mate. I forgot that his queen protected F8. I thought it was just over after Rook H7. Very serious mistake. It could have been the game right there. Zero to 1,000. 1,000 what? 1,000 CPL? That was like 1,000 CPL for both sides. That Benoni middle game, I have no idea what I was doing. Why does everyone play this? It's almost not even... Did I play this against you before, Abject Pawn? That would be a strange coincidence. I've only played this opening like once on the stream or something. Everyone plays f4. The move that I wondered if that's the best. Except that, yeah. Like, Magic Pawn, you're playing exactly like the other player who we played. That's too strange. He even made the same move h3. But maybe it was a move later in that game. h3 looks really weird. So c5, pawn takes pawn, queen a5 check. Never play queen a5. Guys know. You know the drill. c5, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, queen d8, king d8. Todorov would like that ending. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. h3 looks wrong. It really looks wrong. c5, I want to play. But check doesn't work that well either. It's probably playable. Dubious. Dubious. This is almost exactly like another game we had. Again, c5 takes, check. Queen takes c5. Oh, that's interesting. That's a strange decision to play bishop c4 there. Doesn't seem right. I mean, black is close to like a normal Pierce almost. Though knight c6, d5 could be a problem. You can even play d5 here. I mean, how can one have time to play h3? Okay, I played knight g8. I guess you can do what you want, but this makes a weakness in your position. At g3. Serious weakness in the white position there. Knight c6. Knight h6 is interesting. Why don't I just take? Like, this is the best move, and I'm sitting here like thinking about all kinds of other moves. Clearly I should just take. I thought for 2 minutes and didn't even consider like the most natural move. But I think last move he's making a mistake. I mean, bishop c4 here. You probably need to take on c5. Or maybe play d5. Both of those moves were strong. Actually, yeah, c5 was a mistake, and his move was a mistake. So we both made terrible moves. Move 6 for me and move 7 for white are clearly inferior. c5 was a blunder. You could just push with a clear advantage. Or take, which isn't quite as good. Yeah, if I had realized you could just push, I wouldn't have played it. I'm just making this stuff up. You know, I don't really play the Brooklyn variation of the Alekhine. But there is almost no theory on this move f4. Now black seems to be doing reasonably okay. Takes, well, takes. No, no. Yes, yes. Yeah, this seems okay. We destroyed the center. That's what we set out to do. That's the goal. The goal The roll is the goal. And the resulting position is Wait for it. I am up a pawn. But most importantly, white no longer has his mighty center. The goal is the roll. Troll on a roll. Bishop h6. Oh, you didn't fall for it. I was really hoping you would play bishop h6 there. What's wrong with knight to d5? Is it too slow? I'm not developing any pieces. Interesting. Object pawn, how could you be 1500 in bullet? You're moving extremely fast. I'm not sure. You know, he doesn't have really good compensation here. Okay, probably we're winning. And I'm being a baby about it. That's why he's 1500. If you didn't drop pieces, you would be like 2000. Man, you played this pretty well. I mean, bishop c5, and I think white has some compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Clearly. Legendary. Piece drop. So really interesting game. I played badly here. Michael Wilder, 1989. Surprisingly, f4 is played by very few people, yet it's the #1 move of Stockfish. Yet at the Grandmaster level or Master level, it's only been played in 7 games. The second time I faced that. Now, this was played unsuccessfully. I don't like c5. This is what Bricard did against Wilder. Like, you could just go here. Clear advantage to white. That's ridiculous. You can't play c5. So I played g6, and now h3. Kind of a weird move. It's even Stockfish has h3 on its list there. Kind of surprising. Third best move according to Stockfish. Knight f3, and then this is a blunder again. White could just play d5. But black is worse. I mean, this is perfect setup for white, I think, essentially. Black is just worse. There's no defending this opening, really. All right. Let's see if we get in these 3 games quickly. Then I've got to go. Wow. Yeah, that's actually not bad. The h3 move that he played. You would think that would be like the perfect move for black, giving black time, weakening white's position. But if you just play f4 and h3 and there's nothing black can do, then the whole opening is hopeless. Oh no. Oh no. Not the London system. We hate this. I faced knight c3 against a player last week, and that does seem like maybe white's best try. Take it or leave it. I guess I could play h6 if I want to to meet bishop h4 with g5. Seems like a strange thing to do. Black should really equalize by gaining the bishop pair. Clearly, the last game h3, what looks like a strange move is quite okay for white. Quite good, actually. I blundered immediately with c5. But if you look at that game, like the highest rated game ever played by Emmanuel Jean-Luc Picard, against Wilder, though, like, not a good idea, you know. Not really a good idea. Michael Wilder in 1989, I think that was like when he won the US Championship. He was like in his prime. Subsequently left chess, unfortunately. He was a great player. Bishop d3. What to do? Maybe I should opt for a kind of hippo setup here with e6 and wait to see what happens with the queen side. Probably this is better. e6, queen e7 first. Similar to the Trompowsky lines I've played. WJ Loof, welcome. Uber driver, hope you're doing all right. How's Uber Eats? WJ, thank you for the donation. Uber driver, I hope you have enough work. Is Uber Eats still functioning? Keeping you busy? Can you do other stuff? Like, do you have normal passengers as an Uber driver? Taking old ladies to the hospital? It would be a lot cheaper than taking an ambulance. No question about it. I'm not really happy with the c6 move I played. Sort of stupid. You can guess what white's up to here. Have a great day. The attacking London system with queenside castling. Made famous by the game Kariak and Adams. I'm always dissing the London system. Links to what? 104 hours. You refuse to have people in the car now. You need 104 hours. Yeah, I mean, it's just too big an epidemic, I guess. Like here in Hungary, you still have taxis and stuff. The epidemic is, at least publicly, not that big. But the way it looks in the United States, I don't see how you could carry customers anymore. Reuse your car. I think he refused. It's like masks, Acerbate. They have to reuse the car. They can have it detoxified after every user. They take to a special garage with like ultraviolet rays. That would be kind of expensive, I think, for Uber to ultravioletize the car after each use. They do that with like buses in Asia. They clean them with like these weird ultraviolet rays. Would you like to sacrifice a piece? It's almost tempting to play g5. Would seriously weaken my position, though. Probably better not to. I mean, is he really threatening a sacrifice? Yeah. Very likely. So you're delivering food, right? I mean, that's the process. Nope, no pay cash. Only card. Money's a good way to carry coronavirus. I accept. That's one. It's a double piece sacrifice. Maybe not. Single piece sacrifice. Wait, take. So takes queen f7, rook h8, bishop h8. Wait. I'm still allowed to castle queenside. There could be some kind of killer knight. This isn't gonna work. Yeah. No. I'm creating a mating attack, acerbate. Setting up. I don't know about that. I never thought of microwaving the money. You got the metal in there. The metal strips. You know, inside the money, man, there's like a little metal strip. That might not be enough metal to have effect. I mean, I put like knives in the microwave by accident. Sometimes it explodes and sometimes like not. Even with larger bits of metal. I'm not sure it's always an issue. Maybe I ought to just go to get forked here. Get forked. Well, I guess it depends. The answer is it depends. But, you know, obviously different countries have different metals in their currency. I wouldn't want to put my money in the microwave. I would start with small bills first and a very cheap microwave and work my way up. If that's our biggest problem, we're in good shape. And Pokey sacrificed not one but two pieces. It's a bit much. My structure looks like a train. Yeah, the train formation. It's a steam train. You guys see that? Train in the membrane. Rook h7. Rook h7. Did he get mated? He's going to surround my bishop on h8. Isn't that sick? This is kind of scary, actually. We might have to give him one of the pieces back. What was wrong with bishop d7? Well, bishop d7, queen h4, it's trapped immediately. My knight doesn't have a square. This is sort of demented. It looks like a steam engine. You know that your opponent is concentrating deeply. You do see the train, see? I was afraid of this. Now, queen takes leaves him with not quite enough pieces. But knight takes is risky. Knight takes, queen takes, check, king d8. Knight f7, check, yikes. King here. Knight takes. Maybe I will sack my queen. It's a new material balance. Rook and 3 pieces for a queen. Significant amount. Coordinate. Must coordinate forces. We're getting there. We are getting there. Oh my god. Lost on time. Good game. He doesn't even have a bullet rating. He's 15.99 in classical. Yeah, I freaked out here. Too hard to win that position with no time left. Do I have a 3-second increment? Froze. I froze like a deer. I mean, I'm winning, but it's extremely tedious. Alright, good game. I think we lost some challengers. Boston chess left. No time for rated. We'll play these guys. Do you have 100 games? No. Alright. We'll play the last game against Huge. We know him. I do ask everyone that has challenged me to have like 50 plus games. I'm not just arbitrarily refusing challenges. We don't always do rematches there learning chess. There's lots of players who want to play. There's no time. So BG5. I haven't played this in a long time. I kind of gave up playing this variation with Bishop D7. It has some technical problems. It still remains barely playable for black, but I don't trust it. Sergei Kudrin played this once against me. Bishop F6 immediately. It's a pretty rare line. At the time I didn't know it or remember it, and I lost. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do now. But this is definitely not the main move for white. If e6, queen h5 isn't possible. So e6 looks good here. No need to shout. The dark squares, yes. The vortex. The arrow. You get the point. The fact that white has traded off their dark square bishop. When you get to be strong enough in chess, you stop thinking about pieces and start thinking about squares. It's a great measure of sort of you're improving. When you catch yourself starting to think like more in terms of the actual squares than what's on them, I think you're making gains strategically. A little bit of effort to mop up that dark square weakness. But I'm very skeptical. Although you gain control of these squares, you actually lose e3 as well. Okay, so now we have some interesting choices. Queen b2, knight b5. I don't know about that. Queen b2, knight b5, and my queen is getting trapped with rook b1. I think I'll pass on that. Queen e3 check is playable. For those of you who love a good endgame, highly likely. For those about to rock, could play bishop e2, but I love endgames. I'm going to make some merch. Make a t-shirt and send a free copy to Todor Todorov. We need someone to design the I Love Endgames t-shirt. Maybe we'll send one to number 4. Mr. Coffee subscribed. I wonder what he's doing now. He doesn't have like a controversial chess tournament to promote. I'm just kidding. I'm just looking for trouble now. Good to see Mr. Coffee. Good morning. Happy day off. There goes my ability to castle queenside. I love in games like this, man. If anybody here wants to learn how to play positions such as this, endgames, the black side of the Richter-Rauser, and 2 bishops, what you want to do, get yourself a copy of "100 Selected Games" by Botvinnik. Actually, there's not that many Sicilians in there, but I mean, he's so good at 2 bishops. Liechtenstein, another one. A friend of mine on Facebook, Asterbait, posted a video of going for a ride on the strip the other day in his truck. It was just totally dead. This is poisonous, venomous. But the real reason why I played rook b8 is so that after d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, he can't play bishop b5 and trade bishops, although even that in game would be good for black. I want to play d5. My king is still in the center. You know, oddly enough, we had a mention yesterday of, in this type of structure, someone saying how you can play bishop g7. I don't remember if it was on my stream or if it was in a lesson, but I discussed this concept. Having the double pawns allows you to move your bishop out. Maybe that's important. Although here I have a very good diagonal. King safety. F5 is no good yet. I will not trade. I should play take bishop a4. Very strong plan to trade the bishops. Playing some sewers sounds interesting. I hope you don't meet Pennywise down there. I'm sure you get that joke all the time. Come down and play. We're all floating down here. You went down to the strip after a person posted empty. We found ourselves in a traffic jam of people. I'm not surprised. See, that's the problem. Once a few people think it's okay, then everybody starts following. So I tricked him. Suggesting bishop a4 to try to cheaply win a piece. And he fell for it. Alright, but you're supposed to play knight f5. That's the variation, according to theory. This is actually a pretty good line for white that not a lot of people know about. I can't remember what I played against Kudrin. I lost because I didn't know it well enough. But there doesn't seem to be like a way for black to equalize completely here. Just do whatever Alexei Dreyev did. Dreyev hasn't faced this variation. He was playing this opening for a while. Robert Byrne. It's funny because Robert Byrne actually played this line like the last tournament I ever saw him at when he was playing this with black. Ironically. New York Open, like 1992. He actually plays this variation with black. But I don't know. I don't like playing bishop takes f5. What is black supposed to do? I can't remember what I did against Kudrin. I guess it was queen a5 to attack that guy. But somehow Sergei played like knight e3. Remember, his knight came back. I ended up playing e6 at one point. So I'm not sure how it went. Anyway, good variation. You just need to know that you're supposed to play knight f5 there. And after that, white is slightly better. Welcome, Fortuna Chess Coach. You play that as a main line with black. Oh, you play e6. Yeah, of course. No, e6 is the main line. This variation... there isn't really a good answer. I mean, this 32 games with a huge winning score for white. It's this variation needs some work for black, and it's just another reason why bishop d7 is kind of sketchy. Kudrin is a theoretical player. I mean, he knows pretty much a lot, especially in the Sicilian. I was not happy to encounter this. He has a pretty good score against me with white. Anyway, guys, we'll be back on Sunday with the simul at 6:30 p.m. Thanks for stopping by, Fortuna Chess Coach. We're just ending the stream. We've got work to do, and anyway, interesting games. So stay safe, everyone. Wear your masks. Ponda knew all along it was a good idea to wear masks. Sorry, man. Your strap is there. So, okay. See you guys Sunday. Big turnout. Watch Sludgy agonize during simul on Sunday. Bye-bye.